Welcome everyone to the Dorm Pod, episode 3, here with Danny. Today we're going to be talking about college basketball and college football that happened this past weekend. And we're going to be talking about upcoming NFL draft prospects coming out of college this year. We're going to start with college basketball that happened last week. We're going to start out with Duke destroying Miami 89-54. Kontu Knipple dropping 25, my boy. Flag and Malawech combined for 25, also leading the way behind Khan. Then they proceeded to beat Boston College 88-63. Flag had 28, Proctor 20. Evans with 16, leading the way for that big conference game there at home. Missouri beats Florida, pretty big upset. They only beat them by 1 though. Ole Miss ended up beating Bama by 10. It's kind of shocker, I think, to both of us. Bama losing by double digits. I mean, Ole Miss is kind of like a slower team. Alabama's, kind of quick. So I'm kind of surprised that.
Yeah, that surprised me as well for how Alabama's been performing this year too. And just to get a loss like that, I didn't expect it.
Yeah. Yeah, you always think that the quickest team, would win. But it kind of shows right there that, they don't always win. Auburn dominates Mississippi State. Wins by 22. Sorry about the voice crack there.
Auburn, though, they're on it this year. I mean, the number 1 seed, and they're showing why. They're hooping this year. That's how you can say it for them.
Yeah, it was crazy, too, because I think Broom was out that game. He's been out the last couple games with an injury. I could be wrong, but I got.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I think it's been the past 2 games he's been out.
He's been out. Kentucky defeated A&M pretty well. Kentucky showing who's the boss in the SEC behind Auburn. Iowa State controlling Kansas, winning by 17. Just, allowed Kansas to very minimal points. You don't normally see Kansas under 70, but there they scored under 70.
I mean, Kansas, their leading scorer. Oh, no. I thought I saw it was 8. Never mind. Zeke Mayo had 17, a good day for him. But Iowa State's just on one. And, after the last time Iowa State was, in the nicest way, really relevant, was they had Tyrese Halliburton. Right. Now they're putting this new squad out there. They've been also hooping, and they're winning their games by a decent amount. I mean, showing up against number 9 in the country, Kansas Jayhawks, a big blue team. So Iowa State this year, I mean, they're moving on from that Tyrese Halliburton days.
Right, yeah. They got Mavsilovic and Lipsy and all those, those big names on their squad.
Look at their box score. They only use 3 players off the bench.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about how you're winning so much, only using 3 players off the bench. You're not always going to have guys fit. So I just want to know what they're doing for practice. If they're just running sprints the whole time, make sure they're in shape.
Exactly, yeah. They're going, back and forth, not much off the bench, only, playing 3 guys. I've kind of noticed you play like 8 to 9 guys. So they really, keep it minimal. Could you tell if Mavsilovic played in that game for Iowa State?
Mavsilovic. No, he was out that game.
Yeah, he's been out the last couple games with some injury that I don't know of yet. I've tried to look for it, couldn't find it. So,
I mean,
Milan, if you know what the injury is, tell me. I want to know.
But also looking at Curtis Jones took over for Iowa State, dropping 25 points, 5 from 6 from the 3-point line.
Wow.
And what made the difference in this game was the 3-point shooting.
Sure.
And also the free throws. I mean, Kansas, how are you shooting 36.4% from the free throw line that game?
Yeah, 30. That's actually pitiful. Holy smokes.
And then 31% from the 3 from Kansas, while Iowa State was shooting 61% from the 3.
Well, if you don't shoot much, but they probably shot a decent amount, you had a good shooting game.
Oh yeah, very good. 8 for 13.
It's one of those games where you just have a shoot around almost for a game. Having such a great shooting day.
Yeah.
And then we got Minnesota topping Michigan off in overtime. I was happy to see that.
Oh yeah. I mean, but the way to win it too.
Yeah, that was insane. It literally got me off my bed when I saw the highlight of it.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't
believe it. I mean, I didn't watch it. I saw it on Instagram. And I'm like, that was a deep one he pulled.
It was
It was
insane.
almost half court. It was just a little bit past half court,
Yeah.
right? Not that.
Yeah,
Fair play.
Yeah, he was kind of set in that shot too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was on it that day. He dropped 27 points. Garcia dropped 27 and getting the game-winning shot.
Well,
so he was just on it.
Summoning what the entire game was.
Yeah, yeah,
it was his game, and he showed it.
Yep.
Gonzaga losing twice last week. Once against, I know Santa Clara was one, and then
Oregon State.
they lost to Oregon State. Two bad losses for that team. It's kind of like a punch to the face of them. I feel like they have really young, very prosperous prospects this year, and I don't know. I don't know if it's like the age, the experience, or what's going on with them right now, but I feel like they can, hopefully they gain momentum.
Getting back in.
Coming into March,
Yeah, I mean, they were 16th before in the last rankings.
Sure.
Now they're not even ranked.
Yeah, they're not.
They need to figure this out. I mean, we saw earlier UConn was struggling.
Sure.
And then now they've been doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
So hoping that for Gonzaga as well.
Yeah, UConn's going back and forth. Mississippi beating Ole Miss. I thought that was interesting because Ole Miss beat Bama.
Yeah.
And then Alabama destroys Mississippi State, but Mississippi State beats Ole Miss.
I mean, it was a close one, though. They went into OT.
Yeah.
I think that one was just a battle of who was the fittest. But, yeah, Ole Miss, I mean, after beating such a talented Alabama squad, I agree. It was,
yeah, two very good defensive teams, in my opinion. Mississippi State's very, very balanced on the defensive side. I see them play, and they're always all over the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ole Miss is just big posterior defense with their big men.
Yeah.
Tennessee lost to Vanderbilt. It's kind of like a football upset.
Yeah.
Bro, the SEC this year is just absolutely insane.
Insane.
I got to count how many, ranked guys they got.
Ranked teams from the SEC?
Let me count quick.
Oh, my
Let's
gosh.
see.
Yeah.
It's too much to count almost. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you got 9 guys and 9 teams in the top 25.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah. Auburn, they have number 1.
Yeah.
That's the big name.
That's the big one.
And then you have number 4, 16, 22. You have number 6.
They have 6, 7. No, they don't have
6,
7.
9, 5.
They have 5, yeah. 4, 5, 6.
13, 14.
9.
Yeah.
13, 14, 16. Yeah,
I mean,
and 22.
I mean, but look at the names in the SEC. I
Yeah.
mean, it's always a good conference, and it's more of the entertaining ones to watch through the year.
They've really turned the SEC of football into basketball, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because this year in the SEC, it was kind of ugly and
Yeah.
it was kind of mediocre, but now they switched it over to basketball now, and
Now
it's
they're
really
hooping.
picking up in basketball for sure.
And look at some of these teams in the SEC that years before. Oklahoma used to be good. The Trae
Yeah.
Young days
Mm-hmm.
used to be balling out. Texas is a good team. Georgia with, Anna Edwards back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the SEC they've been hooping.
Yeah, they have. Let's get back and let's talk about West Virginia beating Iowa State. It was a back and forth game. Iowa State, kind of had control, and West Virginia, were they at home? I don't know. But West Virginia pulled out a great second half and, won in a dogfight. They won the second half, so they ended up winning the game.
Yeah. It was, it was a close first half. It was 25-24.
Sure.
West Virginia was up by 1. And then they just pulled away with that 39 points they scored in the second compared to 33 by Iowa State. But it was a defensive game. I mean,
Yeah.
being in the 50s and low 60s. You can tell it's a defensive game. And West
sure.
Virginia, but they've been doing their thing recently.
Yeah, they have. They've gotten big wins.
Yeah.
In the last couple games, they've shown they can hang with the big boys, I guess.
Yeah.
In that fashion. Yeah, it's just in that game I saw Iowa State off to a quick start, and then it just fell off later in the game. Purdue upset Oregon. Wasn't a big upset, but it was enough to talk about. Oregon, red hot, beating very, very solid teams, very good conference opponents. Purdue going into Oregon territory and getting the dub there. And Illinois lost to Michigan State, unfortunately. It was a good game to watch, but Michigan State just pulled out at the end.
I mean, Michigan State's doing their thing. Of course, I thought Illinois was going to win.
Right.
That's what I always thought. But yeah, there's been recently like 2 tough losses I know of recently for Illinois, and it's against those big name schools. I feel like so they just need to get back on track when it comes to playing the big time schools.
Sure. Yeah, Michigan State's been on a roll. They've beat very, very solid teams overall, conference wise. So with that, we're going to turn over to the college football championship game.
Ooh.
You guys saw me on the live. What was it? Today's what? Tuesday?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Today's Tuesday. Y'all saw me yesterday on the live. Unfortunately, my bet did not hit. So
What'd you have on there?
I had I had Leonard with like under like 39 rushing yards. Bro had like over 50.
It was in the first. It was like in the first drive.
Yeah, he had 34 in the first drive and then like 16 in the next drive, and I was like screwed right away. Yeah, what an entertaining game. Ohio State, belt to butt right away. Going up big at half. They were 31-7 at half.
Yeah, no, I thought it was over. I was like, maybe I might go do something with my life and not watch this because it's going to be a blowout. Because the thing was that Notre Dame wasn't getting any stops.
Yeah, it was. I thought I was concerned for Ohio State in that first drive. Having Notre Dame going all the way down in the first drive, like it looked like they were walking down the field almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ohio State, kept throwing in their secondary and, really gave their secondary a run.
Will Howard balling yesterday. I mean, he started off like 13 for 13 before he threw an incompletion.
Yeah.
And he just looked calm in that moment. Like he was making the plays. He was in that moment, like not shying down from it. At the same time, Riley Leonard didn't either.
Right, yeah.
It was a good quarterback battle to watch yesterday.
Yeah, there was very minimal turnovers, on the quarterback side of things.
Yeah.
Watching Howard, out there just throwing to his guys like it's like they're brothers almost. It's like they connect so well, and it's really fun to see. I mean, it kind of gets boring when it goes to, like a blowout situation, but Notre Dame made it interesting.
Yeah.
They really locked up the secondary in the second half. Really made, Ohio State run the ball, and they can stop the run.
Yeah.
They're a very big boy group up front.
But the thing was, I'm looking up because I'm trying to remember.
Sure.
Oh yeah. 3rd and 11. That big play.
Yep.
That throw to was it Jeremiah Smith?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the guy's a true freshman. He's 18 years old. I cannot wait to see what he's gonna look like in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
In college football, then eventually the NFL. But that was just a clutch play. I mean, they saw the one-on-one. You heard him. He said he saw the one-on-one. I'm gonna take it, and that was a big play in that moment. That's when Notre Dame had it close. I was hoping Notre Dame get the stop, at least make it a last drive game or even tie it.
Is Smith's the one that's no. Williams is the one that's 17. I'm thinking
Williams is 17, but Jeremiah Smith is 18.
He's probably only 18, yeah. They are indeed younger than me.
Jeez. That's crazy here nowadays too.
Right.
When you see him like
You
younger
see
than
kids
you,
out there and they're like
Yeah.
younger than you and you can call them kids and it's like,
and think about it, I'm older than you, so
Right.
it's a lot of them for me. I'm
Right.
like, dang, I'm old. I used to
Right.
have the hoop dreams, and now
exactly.
now I would have made the NBA, but the knee gave out.
Now you need like the ice packs.
Yeah, like
The
Kobe on the bench.
Yep, the warmed up chairs in the car. A
Exactly.
massage every day.
Exactly. I'm basically Kobe
I'm
on the
almost to
bench
that
in
point.
the end of his career where he
Right.
just has ice packs all over. That's me.
Yeah. Just, icing yourself like directly. Let's talk about Will Howard. He's been solid. He's had some bad games, but overall in, big performances, he really shows up. What do you think he's going to show? Apparently he's projected a third day kind of guy.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's going to take him earlier? If so, who do you think what team, and who do you think, would be a good fit for him?
I mean, yeah, they have him as a third day. I mean, he was first in college football this year in QBR.
Sure.
So, I mean, that shows a lot, and that shows, I think if he goes to a team with a good quarterback, and who needs a backup, and a guy like his playing style.
Sure.
I mean,
you can go anywhere.
He has a lot of options places to go, and he's going to go to a team that already has that veteran quarterback that knows how to play well. Once he learns under, I think he's going to be a baller once he really gets to learn, because you saw the guy and listen to him talk after the game. He's has his head on his shoulders and sounds like a smart guy.
Right. Yeah.
So
very intelligent dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, I know he's going to go to a team with a good starting quarterback, and he's going to be able to learn a lot, and that's where it's going to go. He's not going to be a starter the first day.
Yeah.
Maybe a Brock Purdy story eventually.
Sure. Yeah.
But I mean, yesterday he put on a show. That was a offensive MVP caliber player. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see where I can't pinpoint exactly. I know he's not going to Tennessee.
Right. Yeah.
They don't have it. The Patriots, no.
It's probably gonna go to some, solid team.
Like San Francisco.
Maybe like even Washington, or New England, maybe, if they, they don't pick up their quarterback right away.
Well, they have Drake May.
Sure.
New England. I think he's gonna be the guy for New England.
Okay. Yeah, you can go either way.
Even I don't know. He's a third day, and it's just who needs it. I mean,
the quarterback situation in the NFL is very interesting.
It is.
When we talk about quarterbacks and where they're gonna go, odds of that happening are very slim.
Yeah.
So these are just our takes. This is a podcast for a reason.
Just a shot in the dark. That's why it's the Dorm Podcast.
Exactly.
College thesis right there.
Yeah, you gotta turn a light on something.
Yeah.
You can't keep your room dark and locked all the time. Quinton Judkins for Ohio State. He's like, I would consider him as like a Matt Forte. I feel like, prime Matt Forte. Kind of just plows through everyone.
Yeah.
And make sure he gets into the end zone.
I mean, you saw the touchdown where he reached for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a couple players with him, and he reached for it. Judkins was fun to watch yesterday.
Yeah,
he really was. 100 yards. He averaged 9 yards per carry.
That's pretty good.
That's insane.
Yeah.
2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, I don't even know. What is he? He's only a junior, so he's probably going to come back for his senior year. You think?
I think he declared for the draft. I could be wrong. But they have him like second or third round, I think.
Well, just because this year, I mean, the other running backs going to the draft.
Sure.
Ashton Jonty.
Yeah.
First.
Jonty, yeah.
Scattle. What's his name?
Oh, Skibido.
Yeah.
Something like it, right? Skibido?
Quincy has not officially announced that he's declaring for the NFL draft yet.
Not yet. Okay.
So he still has one more year.
Scabadoo.
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 I mean, he's going to the draft.
Sure.
Honestly, if I'm Judkins, I'm staying one more year at Ohio State.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of running backs, and they were Heisman candidate players.
Sure.
So maybe you wait for next year when you're that guy. You're the top guy.
Sure. Yeah. It'll be interesting on what his decision is on that. Jeremiah Smith, after the game got his, showed his ring off, he said 3 more years.
3 more is crazy.
Do you think he's going to hang on for another 3 years, or do you think he's got another year in him, or what do you?
Well, he's going to come back for sure because he's only a freshman. I
Sure.
think you have to be to NFL. You have to stay for your junior year.
Okay.
So he said 3 more. So through all 4 years, I don't know if he's going to stay all 4 years.
Sure.
For the fact that if he's his junior year, he's balling again. He knows he's one of the top picks in the NFL draft.
Sure.
Go get the money.
Right.
So I don't know, but can Ohio State do it again? They could.
They could. They have the talent for sure.
They always have the talent.
Yeah.
And no matter what, Ohio State's always good, always
right.
a big name school. I mean, if we're talking about next year, though, that's a whole tangent. I think Notre Dame's going to
for sure.
back. But Jeremiah Smith, 3 more? It's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's possible.
I don't know.
The odds are not, obviously with you.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm curious on what Colorado's going to do. I feel like they got that really good quarterback coming in.
Yeah. They have another guy who's a two-way player that didn't play. He was redshirted.
Yeah, they'll be a fun team to watch for sure. Let's talk about the Notre Dame side in the championship game. Riley Leonard and then Jaden Greathouse, having a crazy performance in the championship game.
Ooh, Riley Leonard, like you said, first drive getting over on the rushing yards. I mean, the first drive, I was like, this guy's about to go and ball out. And the second drive, he was doing good. You know what got him at the end, though, was the penalties.
The penalties, yeah.
They would have gotten the first down, and then just the penalties threw him back. And I think that once you get that one stop and Ohio State goes and score, your whole team, it's kind of tough to get going. I mean, Riley Leonard, he's a baller. And I liked him a lot. And through the season, I love this guy. I think he's a perfect build for a quarterback, honestly.
Yeah. I really like Riley Leonard as, a person of a man of God for sure. Really, showing his faith.
Oh, that was, yeah.
It was awesome.
That was great to see. And the way he said, as long as godly men win in the end, that was like sick.
Yeah,
love to see that. I'd love to see that. And,
yeah, it's always cool, seeing those guys' stories and, they're, express their faith and, things like that.
You heard the story of Ohio State, though, in the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah,
they're going around with the baptism
with the baptism and all that. Yeah,
and then it was just sick. And then they weren't fighting on the field. Like, it was a competitive game, but I was looking. If you look at the side, I like to see after the plays.
Yeah,
they're all dapping each other up, good job and stuff. And it's it's great to see stuff like that. I know some people love the drama, but sometimes seeing just good competitive game
sportsmanship
with none of the extra stuff, it's fun to watch
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Riley Leonard connecting with Jaden Greathouse. For 2 touchdowns, 162 yards, 6 receptions only.
You got 162 yards?
100, I think so, right?
ESPN, I got 128. 6 receptions, 128. 2 touchdowns, yeah.
Man, saw something else. It was 100-something, 128. I thought
still a lot.
128 is still pretty good. Was it 6 receptions?
6, yep.
Yep. Okay.
He balled out. I mean, he did his thing. And there's some players who perform at the highest stages, and them two are the people that really perform for Notre Dame.
Yeah, they really showed up. Notre Dame defense overall is, kind of fun to watch. Going
into it.
Yeah, going into it. Knowing they can stop the run.
But
the Ohio State running backs found a way to score at least.
I mean, Judkins the baller.
Yeah.
He's just a baller, and Will Howard was doing his thing. I mean,
for sure.
You see the play where he hit the little wink to the side,
right.
Got us. That was the game.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, I thought it was funny too. And it was just crazy to see in the beginning that Ohio State made Notre Dame's defense look like nothing.
Right.
And it looked like, and then they score once, they score twice, then you expect in the third, and then that first half was tough.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, watching games and, teams making slim adjustments.
Yeah.
But it's enough to just turn the game around.
Yeah.
Like watching Notre Dame's defense in the second half, really, locking into what, Ohio State was running.
Yeah.
It was interesting to watch. Ohio State didn't fully, I felt like they kind of played the clock game, but again.
I mean, they had to,
yeah.
You're not messing around.
Yeah.
But Coach Freeman for Notre Dame.
Sure.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Ryan Day finally got his team a win on a big day. I remember
it's not against Michigan, so he'll win.
Yeah, I remember last year when after they lost, they were like, "Is this guy even going to have a job next year?"
Right.
He has a job next year, and next thing you know, he wins the whole thing. So,
right. Yeah, he said it. He said, "You just got to work hard. You gotta." He said after the championship game, he's like, "It's not going to be an easy road, but you gotta fight."
Yeah.
And fight for sure is what he did. So,
yeah,
all that. That was a great way to end the season. Made Notre Dame made the game interesting.
Yeah, they did.
All that. So thanks guys for watching the Dorm Pod episode 3. I'm gonna have a special episode coming out next week. When I have no idea is when I can get the editing done for that one. But yeah, thanks you guys for watching. You guys have a great night.